In this video, you will get 2 power mantras. By knowing these 2 power mantras, you will never be afraid of beginning your new life from scratch again. Let me tell you a story. This is the story of John. You will get goosebumps after listening to the whole story. John was very good at studies, but he was doing a boring job. But his character was completely different. He was not interested in doing jobs at all. He just used to hate his job because he was doing very hard work on this job but earning a very less amount of money from it. He was even struggling to manage his own expenses. On top of that, he had to run his family. So it was getting quite impossible for him to run his family. He was very depressed leading this kind of life. Then one day he just decided to leave his job without any planning or any preparation because he was feeling suffocated in his job. He decided to start his own garment business, but there is a certain capital needed in any kind of business, and he left with no money for starting a new business. So he decided to borrow money from his friends and family, and then he started gaining detailed knowledge about his new business. By doing this, he was gaining a little bit of confidence that he could take his own business to a new high. He started dreaming that he has become a very big businessman in his town. He was so motivated and hopeful about his business. He told his family members, "We will be rich very soon within a few days." And his family members were also very happy by hearing this from him. After he started his business, the initial few months he was going very good and he was making a profit in his business. But after a few months, a new big government businessman came into his town, and for this reason, his business was getting affected very badly, and within a few months, he was making a huge loss in his business. In the meantime, his friends and family started to ask him to return their money back, which he took loan from them, and he was again in big trouble in his life. He always used to think about how he can return their money back, and as time goes, he fell into a big debt trap. He locked himself in a room and went into addiction. If you are in big trouble in your life, your basic intelligence doesn't work at all. That is basic human nature. And that was the exact thing happening with John. And because of this, his family relation was also getting affected. He always used to fight with his family, and his family member always used to blame him for their poor condition. His condition was getting more difficult when his friends and relatives started to claim their money back from him. But as he had no money left with him, they used to blame him all the time. He used to tell him to give him some time so that he can restart his business and return their money back. But no one was listening to him, and everyone was pressurizing him to return their money back. And his life was becoming like a hell. He just used to hate his life. He used to think that the human life is the worst life among all species. Animal lives are far better than human life. Human life means suffering. Human life means poverty. Human life means hatred, jealousy, and selfishness. And as these thoughts were coming on his mind, he was thinking of finishing himself. He went on a completely self-destructive mode. He was completely broke. He was completely alone, and there was no support from his family. And in this condition, suddenly one day he decided to leave his home. He decided to shift to the mountains. Before he left his home, he just looked at his home for the last time, and his eyes were filled with tears. Then he just started his journey to an unknown path to the mountains. He just wanted freedom from his life, freedom from his sufferings, freedom from all the people who had left him alone, and death was the only option for him to get the ultimate freedom. Suddenly one day in the path of mountains he met a monk. He was meditating in a cave of mountains. When he looked at the monk, the face of the monk was filled with beautiful peace. He stopped himself and was just attracted to him. He did sense that there was something special in the monk. After the monk finished his meditation, he looked at John and said, "Hey young man, what happened? You were looking so sad, dear. May I help you?" After listening to this, John started crying, and then he started telling, "Hey Lord, I have lost everything in my life. My family rejected me, I have gone bankrupt, and I have lost my respect, integrity, and my self-esteem. I am helpless, my Lord. I have lost all hope in my life, and now I just want to leave this world." The monk said, "Just relax. The path you have chosen is very wrong, my dear. There is nothing left in death. We all spend our life like a race. We all are running to win the race, even if we know that death is the greatest defeat, and it is inevitable. So where is the actual meaning of win or defeat? Whatever we achieve in our life, we all are going to die. Right now, we are alive, so there is no reason to live in sorrow." Then John said, "Hey Lord, death gives us pain for one time, and life gives us pain every day, every moment." Then the monk said, "That's why there is no importance for life also. Life and death, they're just two sides of a coin. But think just once. If there is no importance for death also, what do you get even after you die? Nothing, right? You will just end up wasting your life. Maybe you could improve your situation. Maybe you could serve others, fulfill your different goals, or start a new hobby, new journey, new life. But if you die, there are no possibilities." John said, "Is that possible, Lord? Can I really restart my life? Right now, I can't imagine anything except death." The monk said, "I am telling you two most important mantras of life, and if you follow this, you will not regret your life again. Number one, the one who tries never fails." Most of the time, people don't want to restart their life again because they fear failure. They think that if they restart their life and fail again, then it will hurt more. But just think for a moment. If a glass remains empty and you never fill the glass with water, then what is the use of the glass? The same way, life is about gathering experiences. It may be good or it may be bad experience, but just try to fill up your life. If you try, then maybe you can gather some amazing memories in this life. But if you just leave your life empty and you stop moving forward, then it would be just a waste of life. So never ever be afraid to start a new beginning of your life. In the worst case, you will lose, but you won't regret it because you tried. Number two, if you lose, doesn't matter. If you start a new life, set some goals, but you fail to achieve your goals, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. If you continue to play the game of life, life will give you another chance. If you fail again, then also doesn't matter because you will get another chance. In this game of life, you are never out of this game, dear. If you continue playing this game, you will get unlimited chances until you die. So don't ever lose hope. There is always a new morning after every dark night. You may fail again and again in life, but don't let your past failure stop you. We all are going to die one day. So why do we waste our time fearing about failure? Just play your game and explore different aspects of life. But be grateful about this beautiful life and say thank you to God for giving this life to you. A new morning is waiting for you, my dear. After hearing this, John fell into the monk's feet and said, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. I am going to start my new life." If you like this video, share this with at least one of your friends to pass on the message. Thanks for watching.